Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our data analysis class with Ara. And this is just the introductory session. We shall be looking basically on two important things. First is working with Ara and Ara Studio, and second is on using scripts. So you are welcome and enjoy the class. And the other thing maybe to add on, I'm using some slides which I've already prepared, but we shall be switching into R and R Studio software to see how to implement some of the commands. So when using R or R Studio, there are three important windows which you have to know. Although in R Studio there are more than three, but these are the basic one. We have the console window. The console window is where you type your commands and it displays results, which I see later on. The graphic window is specifically seen or pops up within R when you are trying to sketch some graphs or to visualize your data in R console, but in R Studio it is already there. Script window, this is special for writing some scripts in case you don't wish to write your commands in the console window. You can write in the script window and execute for you to have your desired outputs. This is the console window, how it looks like in R console, which I see how it is in R Studio. And that to the right in the script window. Okay, so instead of typing commands in the console window and execute, you can also type in the script window and then you execute the command. Okay. And next we have the graphic window, that whenever you visualize your data or you plot some graphs, they will always be seen on the graphics window. This is the console. This is the structure or the overview, the interface for the R Studio. Number one is the console window, as we saw in R console. Number two is the script window. But apart from writing commands in that area, it also displays some data. Okay, if you want to view a data set, you can view via that window. We have the environment window, and last we have the number 4. It is the additional window, which is different from the R Studio. It displays plots. It has some packages for you to use. It has an help menu if you need some help on doing some analysis, but also it has an option for files, that you can see some files which are found in a computer for easy access. And these two slides clarifies more about the windows found in the R Studio. The panel 1, panel 2, panel 3 is what you have already seen. I think there's no need for repeating the same. Even panel 4, the one with the plots, and you can also extract it or call some packages for you to use in analysis. We have also the help window, which I see how are they working with the R. So that is the general overview, and I can show you from my computer right here. This is the R console. As you can see, we have this one, the console. See, only a single window. The other window, the script window, the graphics window will come up when you need them. For instance, if you just need the script window, simply go to File, click on File, then New Script. So if I click on New Script, then I have my script window right here. But with the graphic window, pops up when you are visualizing the data, so it's not easy for us now to have such window right here. So for now we have only 2 windows. But when we switch on to Ala Studio, let me switch on to Ala Studio. As you can see, we have 4 windows right here. Okay, we have 4 windows: the script window, console window, and we have the environment, global environment. But also we have the last one, the fourth, which is the one with the packages, files. See, we have files right here, loads. Okay, we have packages, and we have help and view. So these are the basic windows with our Ala and Ala Studio. Now, what is it saying? Let me go back to my slide. After having the overviews of the Ala and Ala Studio, the first thing you want to see here is fix on clearing screen. That when you're working with Ala or Ala Studio, you may wish to clear your screen for you to start your analysis or for you to start writing your codes. Now, this is important to ensure that there is nothing on the screen, that your screen is clear. You can do your analysis, you can write your code in a more convenient way. So there are different ways from which you can go through in clearing screen. Okay. Number one, you can clear your screen by using this shortcut. Okay, you just type Control L. Okay, don't know if you can see this clear. Let me change the color to red, as you can see it's clear. You bold. You simply type Control L to clear your console. For instance, let me move to Ala Studio. I have my console right here. This is the file editor. So we have some words written in the console, you can see, but let me also type whatever you can type. Okay, just type in something. Now I have some words written in my screen right here. So if I need to clear my screen to be to remove whatever thing in my screen, what I do, I simply press Control on my keyboard, then L. Okay, that's number one. The second option, I can just go to File. Sorry, not File. You can just go to Edit, then Clear Console. Okay, so if I press OK, everything will go, and then you can see my console is now clean. I've cleared the console. I've removed all the histories from my console, so I can type anything new from that point. So that's how you can clear your console. You can either press Control L, as you have seen from this slide. Okay, Control L, or you can simply use this option that you go to File, Edit, then Clear Console, or simply Control L. That's number one. So you can do this in Ala and in Ala Studio. Okay, whichever software you're working with, the way of clearing the screen the same. Number two, the other thing we have to do to familiarize ourselves is how to enter commands. And execute. Now, when you are working with Ala Studio or with Ala, some commands and output will be coming up in different font colors. With the Ala console, all the commands will appear in red. Okay, and FSQt is changing into a blue font. In Ala Studio, it will be different, which I see when we are working with the Ala in Ala Studio. Okay. Now, here's an example. Just extract from the Ala console. Our command was 5 plus 8. That's the command. The output is 30. So you can see the command is in red. The output is in blue. So you can do an example. Don't know which one should we use. Let's switch to Ala Studio. So this is my console. Okay, now for instance I type, okay, for instance I type 18 plus 19 in my console. Now if I press enter, I have the output, and that is 37. You see? So this is the command, and here 37 is the output. Now the same applies when you are working with the R console. This is the console window. Okay. Now for instance, let's type I like 18, then divide by 7. Just a simple arithmetic. So if I press enter, I have the output. This is 18 divided by 7, it is in red, and this is our output, which is 2.578. So to enter the command, you simply type whatever mathematical expression which is correct, which is mathematically correct, or statistical, any syntax which is correct, then it will always give you the results in the console. So it is 18 divided by, let's say, 9. If I press enter, I have another result. If I type 8888 divided by 9, I have the output. Okay. Now what if I write something which is mathematically not correct? Let's say if we take number divided by 0, 1000 divided by 0. Let's see if it works. You see, it says that's infinite. And what if I type, let's say, 60 divided by AAA? What says? It says object AAA not found. What does it mean? It means that the command we have written, or the syntax we have written, it is not recognized by R, and this is an error message. So you can do the same with the R Studio, but with me, I'm working with the R console. So you can copy the commands and do the same thing in R Studio. Okay. Now that's how to enter commands, and you can see this says if you enter a command which is not valid, you will always ending up having an error. For instance, in the first one we had 13, 25, and this is, it says error unexpectedly star in 1/50 star. You see, it says what is the problem. Now in our case, in this command, the problem is this star. It is unrecognized or unexpected. But if we go back to the R console, we had 60/AAA. Now the error was object AA not found. So R gives you an error message depending on what you are trying to do. Okay, that's number one. So we have seen how to enter commands and how to execute using the console. You simply type your command and then you press enter. Okay, that's number one. The other thing which I just want to introduce to you is quitting R. I suppose you are in a session, you have done your analysis, you have done whatever you wish to do with the R, and then you need to exit. Okay, that you need to close the R package or the software for you to go on with the other issues. So here are some of the options. You can either type quit with the two brackets, open and close bracket, or simply Q, you open and close bracket. If you press OK, then R will be gone. Alternatively, you can select the exit button from the file menu with R. So I can show you from the R console. Not mind you that what I'm doing with the R console, you can do the same with the in R Studio. So for the time being, I'm using the R console, and let me remove the script window, because we are not using it right now, but we'll switch on later on to the script window. So we have said we need to quit. The first option is, I've said you can type quit, and then you put two places, the open and close bracket. So if I press enter, it means R will close. Or I can simply go to file, okay, then I go to exit. So if you go to file then exit, also you will close the R Studio. Now let us use maybe this command, control quit, and press enter, see what happens. You see it says save the work image. If you need to save the work image, you press yes. If you don't need, you can simply say no, and if I say no, it means the program will go away. So you can see our R has gone. If you need later on, you need to open it. Now you can see our R console, how to work with R, to open the package, to enter some commands, and to quit. That's what you have done: opening, entering commands, and quitting. Okay, that's what you have seen in the introductory node. Now what next? Let us see our guideline or our slides. What does it say? Now this is exiting. Okay, you go to file, exit, then if you click OK, sorry, if you press exit, then the program goes. Save work image, I think you have seen it when we are trying to quit the program. And you can see, for instance, if you press you go to file, exit, you go to file, exit, we have these Q's, Q bracket comes up. It means show the command which is being implemented. Now we have seen how to open the R, to enter commands, and to exit. So with R, if I go back here, I go back to the console. We were trying to enter some commands. For instance, 80 divided by 10. Then upon pressing enter, we have the output. Now, when you are playing with the console, you have no room to write more than a single command. You can write only a single command and execute at once. But when you switch on to scripts, you have some advantages. Okay, that a script provides a convenient way for doing programming with R, meaning that it gives you a room for writing more than a single line, okay, or a single command, and then you can execute either line by line or the entire commands at once. Okay, I will demonstrate later on. Just let's see the field. Okay, so apart from writing more than one command, with the scripts you can write some comments or some statements. The statements will be telling you what you are doing at that particular time. Okay, so that in future you can know what you did or what you are doing with some functions in R. But also, apart from writing the commands, apart from writing the comments, you can save the script for future reference. Okay, so those are the three things. You can write commands in script, multiple commands or multiple lines. Number two, you can write some comments for you to be in a position of knowing in future that what are you doing with those particular functions. But also you can save for future reference. Okay, that if you need it in future, you can work on it. Or if you're working, you have a work which is maybe tedious, you can do for some time, you relax, and you go on later on. So when you are working with scripts, you can write your commands, you save, and then when you come back later on, you simply open the commands and then you proceed from where you just left. And here the way of coming up with scripts when you're working with the ALA console. I will show you with the ALA console, but also I'll go back to the ALA studio to show you how it operates. Okay. For instance, the figure shows how to open the script, how to save the new script, and how to save the existing script. So you have new script if you need to have a fresh script which is having which is empty. Open script if you need to open an existing script. You save for the first time, save as for the first time, and save if you keep saving on the same script. I think this is, I've just interchanged the words right here. Save is for saving a new and existing script, but save as is for completing new script. Okay. Now I will illustrate this in ALA on how to open the script, to save, and save as. Okay. The other important thing you can write, what I said is you can now write a command in the script, and if you need to execute, there are two options. Either you just put a cursor in along the line which you want to execute, or you highlight, you select the full line, and if you select, it means you need to select the full line or full command, and then you press execute button. Okay. Now let me show you how to do all these in ALA and in ALA Studio. First, I start showing you how to do this in ALA. So let us clear our console and start afresh. So I simply press Ctrl then L, everything will be gone. Now we need to open a new script because we don't have a script here right now. So I go to File, then New Script. This comes up like this. Now the beauty of scripts, number one, I have said we can write multiple commands. For instance, I can type 100, so 1000 is 10 divided by 100, 1000. I can type another one. I'm just using simple examples for you to understand, but later on as we go on, we'll be trying to write on some mathematical, statistical function and syntaxes. Okay, this is just to clarify some of the issues. Now I can express in 400, 4000, so minus 1000. I can also type, let's say 70 divided by 90. You see, these are just some of the commands I'm trying to write. So I have written 3 commands without executing even a single one, and this is not possible when you use the ALA console. It's not possible, but when you work with the ALA script, it's possible. So let's say I can either execute one command after the other, or I can simply select all and execute at once. I will have the outputs. So let me select all. Then if I execute this, I have the outputs right here. You can see I have the outputs. Okay. The other thing which I told you is that when you are working with scripts, for instance, let me write something here, this one, then divide by, let's say, 9999. What I've said, the other way of executing, you can simply put a cursor along the line, can be either at the beginning, in between, or at the end, whatever, whichever you wish, and then you press the execute button. You see it says line or selection. So if I execute this, I'll have the answer right here. It says it is 100. I don't know if it's right, but that is the answer. Now, what if, for instance, I try to select just this part? What happens? Let's see. If I click this, what happens? You see, the error message comes. Here it is. Unexpected slash in that mark. So this slash is unexpected. You see, Now what if I try to select just this? What happened? Let us execute and see. You see the answer is 0. It has taken 000 divided by 999. So what does it mean? It means Allah executes, if you select it, Allah executes what you have selected. So if you are selecting, you are highlighting, make sure that you select the entire function for you to have the required output. So if I select all these and execute, then I have 100, which is the same as this one. That's number 1. So number 3, how to work with the scripts. So the other thing we have said is, with the scripts, for instance, if you just give someone to see this, he or she cannot understand what were you trying to do with these numbers. So you can put some comment for someone else to understand what is happening with the scripts. For instance, I can write my comment, and commenting, I will start with the hash, and then you write whatever thing you need to write. For instance, let me just write here that this is for instance, I am dividing two numbers. Sorry, numbers, not numbers. Okay, that is my comment. Now let me try to execute this. I'm selecting these numbers along with my comments. What is saying? It says unexpected error in IM. So if you simply type some words without telling Allah that this is the comment, Allah thinks that what you have written is also a function. So you need to tell Allah to understand or to know that this is the comment. And we just inform our software that this is a comment by just typing, starting with the hash. Okay. Now, I now select this and execute. You see, it says I'm dividing the two numbers by that much. So it's not necessary to execute the comment, but we're just trying to show what if you start writing a comment without telling an hash. So I can also put here another comment that this is our first Allah work. Okay, this is our first work in our scripts, for instance. Okay, and the comment we divide the two numbers. Now these are the comments, so you can put as many comments as you wish. Let me change the values 999. Okay, and let this be 89. You see, so I can select my number, my function with the comments, or I can simply run this. I have the results. So that's how to work with comments. So after having the comments, having the function, the beauty of the other script, it means you can save this, and later when you come on, you simply open your script and then you work on, or you proceed from where you left. So in saving, you can simply come to this shortcut here, save the script, you see, or you simply go to file, then you can press save or save as. So if I go to save as, it will give you the location, check the location. Now let me find the location. For instance, I save in local disk E, I find a folder, let's say schools, so this is software. In local disk E, I find a folder called folder schools, and in school I go to East lectures, I go to boss, then I go to continuous data. Okay, okay, this is not continuous data, so I go to R. Yes, here's my fault. Then I give the name. For instance, in my example file, that's the name. So if I press save, it means my script file will be saved. Okay, so I can close this And if I just close the ARA, my ARA, I'm quitting now. I'm not saving anything. So if I open up my ARA, I have nothing right here. But I can call my script. I go just to open the script. At this point, I open my script. I find where I saved my script. It is on local disk E. Then I find where the folder called school. From school, I go to Eastech Lectures. I go to BOSS. I go to ARA. Then I find here my file, my example file. So if I open up, you see it comes with everything which we wrote. So I can either proceed with this script by typing in some more function information. I can add some comments, maybe more met, please, more mets. Let's say 88, then times 56. So I execute. If I need to save this, I go again. I save it for the second time. That is with ARA. So I can do the same in ARA Studio. This is the ARA Studio, and here in the script window, I have the script right here, and this is the console. You see, if you don't have the script, you simply go to File, New. You see, New Script in ARA Studio. So if I open this, I expect to have a new script right here. It is written untitled script. So I can type whatever thing I wish, as I did in ARA. For instance, my web. Then I type, let's say, 8899 divided by 1999. Okay. So if I execute this, I can either put a cursor or highlight. As we saw in ARA, the procedure is the same, but this time around we have the run function right here. Okay. So if I press here cursor and then I go to run, I have the output. Here it is. So this is the function, this is the output. Now if I go back to my script, I can write another comment that our second trial, for instance, our second trial. So I can type anything here, numbers. Okay, for instance, we have, this is a class. Let's see, yes, there is Y somewhere there, and let's see what happens if we execute this. You see, we have an error, an unexpected symbol in this. We have Y right here. This is an unexpected symbol, so we have an error. So as we saw in ARA console, you can go to File, then Save As. For the first time, we are saving. If we need to save this, okay. If you don't need to save, then there's no need for going all those steps. Okay, so that's how to open ARA Studio and to use the script window and saving script. So if I need to save, I go to save. I follow the same procedures. Okay, I find my file where folder, go to local disk E, then school. Okay, school, I find where the Eastech Lectures, then BOSS, continuous data, I go to ARA, then I save, I write the name of my file. Okay, maybe second trial. So I am saving my file. So that's how to work with ARA in ARA Studio, opening, doing some computation, mathematical computation, and saving scripts. Okay, now here's some clarification on how to use script, as you have seen. And this is the execute button. We have also seen this, how to work on this. We have editing scripts outside our environment. This is the another thing that we can work on. I'm going to show you shortly. Okay, that sometimes let's go back to ARA Studio. We have our script. Okay, this is an ARA editor. Now to open this script, you should be in R environment. So there are times maybe you just want to write some commands or some codes outside the R environment. Okay, outside the R environment, and then you, when you are in RStudio, you just import the commands and then you work on. So you can save your R script in a different format that you can be in a position of opening it in outside the R environment. For instance, one of the ways that you can just go to save, for instance, go to save as. Here we have R file format. Let me first find my folder. I go to school. School is somewhere here. I go to history lectures. I go to boss. I go to R. Let me use the same name, my example file. This is the file extension, it is .r. So if I go to that much, I just select all files. Okay, you go to file format. I select all files. Now after selecting all files, I just come to the file extension. I remove .r and I just put .txt, meaning I'm saving my script file in text format. So if I press enter, this file format, you can see now it is in text format, meaning that I can work on that script outside the R environment. Let me show you. If I go back to my folders outside the R environment, let me quit R. I simply type Q, quit R. Okay, working space no. Let me quit RStudio. I simply type Q. Then I execute this. Don't save. Okay. Now RStudio will also go. So let me go back to my folders. I go to school where I saved my R script. I go to history lectures, then boss, then R. You see, I have my script files. Let me show you. This is R, example R file. This was cancer, and this is example file in text format, the one that we last saved in text format. So if I open this, you can see my previous scripts in that I wrote in R. Now from here I can put on working. Okay, that additional maths. I have 886, let's say minus 56. Okay, I have 1000 divided by minus or 8 times 50. So you can see I can work on this script, write whatever thing I wish, and then I just save my script. So when I go back to R, I can open up this script. Let me open up my R again, and then go to File, Open Script. Let me find my script. Go to school, then school, lectures, boss, and then R. So you can see here, we have nothing right here, but we have our file in text format. So you have to go to R file. This is R file is type. You change the type. You select all files. You have your file in text format right here. This is our file in text format. So if I open this, you can see we have these additional maths. These are the commands which we wrote outside the R environment. Okay, so this is how to work outside the R environment. Now, maybe the last thing which you have to see is how to assign values. Okay, that sometimes you can assign values, not so as assigning labels, assigning values to objects and storing objects into object names. Okay, now the thing to note is Number one, you may use whatever name you wish. If you need to store an object with a name, you may use a name, you may use a letter or whatever thing you use, but a combination of numbers and letters, but you should not start with a number. That's number one. When writing, assigning names to objects, you should not start a number. You should not leave a space. If you need to write two names, you have to use the underscore or a dot. And if the other thing to note is labels are case sensitive. So if you use uppercase, make sure that you maintain the same. If you use lowercase, make sure that you maintain the same lower cases. Okay? And we use assignment symbols. We have the equal sign, okay, or the less sign and the dash. Those are the letters we use in assignment. And the most important thing is ALA overrides the names. So if you write your name, if you assign a variable name and then you reassign it a different values, the previous one will be overwritten. And here is some of the clarification on how to assign variable names. Okay, you can see you have assignment. I've shown you the assignments. Okay, and then I've shown you how to call the names and the error message which comes when you assign it in a wrong way. Okay, so this is the clarification on how to assign values. Now let me show you in R. So let's open up our R. Let me take away this script, I don't need it. Okay, for instance, I wish to save. If I type 200, I press enter. See, that is 200 to written. For instance, I want to say tax file 200 in an object called, let's say, number 1. So I simply type number, then 200. I press 100, so I press enter. So 100 is stored in the object called the number. Okay. So if I need to see that 100 to call it, I simply press number, then I press enter to come 200. Or I simply type print number, then 100 comes. So you can simply type the name or you type print depending on what one wishes to have. Let me write another one. Let us modify this. You can use the upward and lower slashes arrows on your keyboard to move these symbols. For instance, I want to add this number, let's say number 100. Okay, so let me have another number 2, maybe 300. You see, so this is the way of assignment. If you need to call them, you just say print number 2. It prints 300. That's the assignment. Now what if I type one number? Okay. One number. I've started with the number. Okay, equal to 200. You see, it says an expected symbol in one number. It means we have started with a number here. This is not required. Now what if maybe I write number 1, I leave a space, I type 1, number 1 equal to 2000. What says an expected symbol and make constant, means we have left a space just after number and 1. So to solve that problem, you can simply type number 1. Either you join the numbers or use underscore 1, then 200, 2000, sorry. You see, we have the numbers. Okay, we have the numbers. So that's the way of assigning numbers, and sorry, not assigning numbers, assigning objects in R into to store the names of objects in ARA. I think for these lectures now, you can just end here on how to assign values to a number. This is fine. Later on, I will show you on how to remove variables and to work on working directories. But for today, this is enough. Thank you for your time and enjoy. The next lectures we start with how to remove the values and how to use the working directories. Working directories are very important in ARA, so don't miss the next lectures. Please enjoy and make some practice for you to follow the next lectures. Thank you.